Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, you are like
Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining. We'll start with a small prayer. Om Ajnantimiranjasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha Chaitanya-manobhishtam स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदामह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथस्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Thank you, dear devotees, once again for joining the call. It is my great pleasure and privilege to be here. Um, you are giving me an opportunity to serve. Very grateful for that. Uh, by being here, I'm able to do whatever little service. So, with that, we'll try to speak a little on the topic today. So, the topic today we are going to discuss is on gratitude. Uh, why gratitude? I'm trying to, whatever I'll be speaking in this lecture is whatever I have learned humbly through our Guru Maharaj, both Siksha, Diksha, and our Acharyas, and humbly trying to reproduce it over here for my own purification, for my own remembrance, and in the process, hopefully it will help others as well. Yeah. So, why gratitude? I recollect, and I'm mentioning this from my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj lecture. It is the quality of heart in which we can spiritually grow in every situation. I'll repeat this statement, dear devotees. Gratitude is a quality of heart in which we can spiritually grow in every situation. But without gratitude, even in the most favorable situation, we cannot really progress. This is the one quality. This is the one quality that makes the mercy of Guru and Krishna accessible. And that's why having gratitude in life is so very important. Because it is a divine virtue that other divine virtues cannot exist without it. Actually, my Guru Maharaj further says that gratitude is what makes the ground fertile, the heart fertile, so that all the other good virtues that we need will have its maximum effect. Spirituality grows like seed within the heart. We all have heard about the Bhakti Lata Beach. Our spiritual practice of chanting God's name, reading scriptures, doing seva of the Lordship Himself, or for all other devotees, everything will grow in the heart based on our gratitude because gratitude is that fertile soil. Just like a fertile soil allows the seed to have deep roots and grow very strong, a grateful heart is essential for the same thing as far as our bhakti is concerned. Gratitude is to see beyond the immediate circumstances that come upon us. Instead, we actually see the essence of the situation. And that is the real wisdom. Again, I'm trying to follow what our acharyas are teaching us. What is the real wisdom? We need to see every situation as a beautiful opportunity to grow if we want to be grateful. We will have dualities in life. Everyone has it. Success or failure, honor and dishonor, sometimes happiness, sometimes sadness. But our Acharya says that everything is an opportunity to learn something, to become better and grow. Ultimately, in every situation, there is an opportunity to take shelter of the higher power of God. And in doing so, we find that life will reveal various treasures in every moment. Therefore, to see the essence means to look for the hand of God in every situation. That is the spiritual definition of success. Now, if we simply lament when things go wrong, we will not accomplish anything. I mean, in a difficult situation, we can look at it as an opportunity to really take shelter of the Lord and, with our God given intelligence, try to fix and improve that situation. Then we can reverse a curse into a blessing. The story of the greatest success in life often involves the person who hits rock bottom, and only then to discover something so beautiful and precious that if we had not gone through some of these horrifying moments in our life, probably we would have just lived a very mediocre spiritual life and may not have accomplished much within. So, this is some of the fundamentals of gratitude. In fact, I would, the Lord Himself, Lord Krishna, the Lord Himself teaches us gratitude through His own wonderful sweet Leelas. Anyone here, I know we are not a lot of people, but anyone here can think of any Leelas of the Lord where the Lord is expressing His gratitude. I mean, Lord expressing gratitude, but yes, the Lord says, "Oh, I'm so grateful." Anyone remembers any examples? One thing that, sorry, someone unmuted. Hmm. One thing that comes in my mind is when Sudama Vipra, a simple Brahman friend of Krishna, he bought some chipped rice, poha. Now that poha was actually bought from some neighbors, begged from some neighbors. And when Krishna, of course, it's a long story, very beautiful story. When Krishna got that out of love and devotion, actually, Krishna snatched that because of the love and devotion of his friend. Krishna took a handful of puffed rice, poha, put it in his mouth. He took another handful of the puffed rice, put it in his mouth. He was about to take one more. And Mother Rukmini, who is none other than Mother Lakshmi herself in one way, stopped Lord Krishna and said, "Oh Lord, I will not be able to repay if you take one more handful of puffed rice." The Lord is so grateful. And Mother Lakshmi, the entire fortune of not only this world, this small, insignificant planet Earth, but the entire fortune in all the three worlds is blessed by Mother Lakshmi. She says, I will not be able to repay it. The Lord is so grateful for something as simple as poha offered, but with love and devotion. Anyone remembers any other example? I mean, where the
Yes.
Lord does some wonderful leelas of expressing gratitude.
Yeah, Prabhu. I was reminded of the pastime that happened in the Kurukshetra,
Uh-huh.
where the Lord was there and the great sages they came, and the Lord and the people started praising Lord, and they said, "Don't praise me. We should be grateful to these sages, who come up with great scriptures and learnings,
Yeah,
and we should praise them." So after all the sages ultimately came from the Lord only.
yeah,
He
yeah. It's
says that
so
in the
nice.
10th chapter, but he's so grateful to the
Yeah, yeah.
to the sages.
Such a nice example, Ashray
Mm,
Madhav. Thank you for reminding us. So
mm,
nice.
mm,
Yeah, yeah. This, is a very good point because sometimes I mean, everything, as Ashray Madhav Prabhu just mentioned, the sages themselves came from the Lord. I mean, the Lord is Father of everyone. But he is giving all credit. He's taking it and giving it to him. Such a wonderful example. He's showing his gratitude. And Krishna means it. Krishna means it. There are the wonderful example of Panchali, when Draupadi, or also known as Panchali, once when Krishna had a small cut on his finger. Krishna is transcendental. Krishna is the Lord, Sarva Karana Karanam, cause of all causes. He doesn't need our service. He doesn't need, he's self sufficient. But just for our benefit, it accepts the service. He had a cut, and Draupadi immediately, it is said, that took a piece of her sari cloth and applied as a bandage to the Lord, as a sakha, as a friend, as a very loving devotee, offering to her, to the lordships. Krishna smiled, and Krishna expresses her gratitude when Draupadi was in trouble by giving her unlimited sari, as we all know in the Mahabharata example. Such are the divine pastimes of the Lord. In fact, these are the devotees. What to speak of devotees? A demon, a demon came to kill Krishna, but acted like a mother. I'm talking about Putana, of course. Putana fed Krishna her milk. Who feeds a baby her milk? The mother. Of course, her intention was to actually kill Krishna. But Krishna is so grateful for even this small service. Kimva dayalu sharanam rajema. He's so merciful. Grateful for this service, Krishna gave the position of mother in the spiritual world to Putana. The Lord, of course, this simple pastime, of course, we can elaborate for an hour and express the wonderful, but I'm just focusing on one aspect, which is the gratitude aspect of the Lord Himself. And of course, what to talk about devotees. The Lord just says, I'm helpless. I cannot repay the gopis. Lord is saying, I cannot repay the love of the gopis. The Lord told Durvasa Muni, when Durvasa Muni offended Amrish Maharaj, he ran And he ran at various places. Eventually, he reached Vishnu, and the Lord told him, I'm helpless because I'm so grateful to Amrish Maharaj. Of course, again, there are various other qualities, but one is the Lord is so grateful to his devotees. So, dear devotees, uh, gratitude is so very important to cultivate. Srila Prabhupada has written, gratitude is a condition of heart that enables spiritual growth to take place. Uh, in a lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, this was in Montreal, August 20, 1968. I'm removing some excerpts of Srila Prabhupada's lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam 7, 9, 12 to 13. God can be pleased only by the feelings of your love that is required. But anyone can do that provided, now please listen, provided he feels the gratitude that God is so kind. I'll repeat this. This is Prabhupada speaking. God can be pleased only by the feelings of your love. What can we please the Lord by? By our feeling for Him, our feeling of love for Him. That is required, Prabhupada said. Anyone can do that provided he feels gratitude for God that He is so kind. So in the same lecture, Prabhupada said that Prahlad Maharaj says that I don't require to be very educated or a learned scholar in Sanskrit or any other language or be very poetic. So I have to offer my prayers in a beautiful language. But God will be pleased even with our simple offerings if we do it with gratitude, love. That is required here. In one of the initiation lectures, Prabhupada further said, this was in San Diego, June 30, 1972. All of us devotees, we offer bhoga to the Lord so that it becomes prasad, and then we honor prasadam. So with that context, Srila Prabhupada was explaining. Simply you feel gratitude. Oh, God has given me this bread. Let me offer it to God first of all, then I take. That this is intelligence. God is giving us. Why not offer to God first? This is showing our gratitude for what we are receiving from God. Sometimes we become privileged. We think, oh, I deserve this. Of course, I'm going to get it. I work so hard. I'm so intelligent. Then we have such thinking, when we have such thoughts. Who has given us this intelligence? If we are very beautiful, who has given us this beauty? We are very rich, who has given us this money? We need to be grateful for that. Otherwise, the reverse happens. We feel entitled, we feel arrogant. And when we don't receive, or when things don't go the way we want, or when we have rains in our life, we feel morose, we feel disheartened, we feel depressed. And we don't need to just have gratitude just so that we don't do all these things, but we can serve the Lord better. We can be in the right mentality. In fact, one more thing, I'm just reading. Prabhupada mentioned this in a room conversation on August 14, 1971 in London. This is our philosophy. Tena tyaktena bunjita. I was referring to the Ishopanishad verse 1. Whatever God has given you, you possess. Be grateful. Don't try to possess others' property. Magrida Kashyas Vidhanam. Because everything belongs to God. So whatever God give me, you enjoy it, be grateful for that. And with this mentality, we will never have the mentality of encroaching upon others' property. Prabhupada said, yes, I should feel grateful. God has given me this thing, so whatever utility is there, first of all, must offer to God. God has given me this grain to eat, so I must first cook and first of all offer to God, and then I shall eat. This is feeling of gratitude, grateful. Gratitude towards God. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained the extent of gratitude of devotees as follows. Even if a devotee serves Krishna for 1000 universal creations, he cannot repay the debt he feels towards Krishna for having received the opportunity to serve the Lord's lotus feet. Thus, everyone should feel grateful to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because He is maintaining all their necessities. There is no way to express our gratitude but to pray with folded hands. We are what we are because of Krishna. We breathe, we live, we possess our intelligence, our looks, our ability, our family, our career, our capacity, our everything is due to Krishna. We should be grateful. And how can we be grateful to the Lord? How can we be grateful? Yes, as we just read earlier, by our prayers, we should express our prayers. That's why in the prayer we say we should humble ourselves. We can only truly humble if we are grateful. Of course, sometimes even if we don't feel humble and we speak, that is also okay. That is called etiquette. We respect each other by saying Prabhu or Mata, we fold our hands, say Dandvat. But unless we have gratitude in our life, we will not really be humble from our heart. For spiritual life, chanting is important. To chant very important, nicely, we need to be humble. And to be really humble, we need a grateful heart. We should express Krishna, our words, our prayers, our service. How would you be grateful to anyone for that matter? You try to make them happy, right? And in the same way, we should try to make Krishna happy by serving him and his devotees and doing what he says. When he says that we are sincere to serve, we are attentive to chant his names, we are submissive to hear his glories, we are enthusiastic to teach his messages to others, and we are enthusiastic to humble ourselves to help others on the path of devotion. He'll be pleased. We express our gratitude by trying to please the object of our gratitude, in this case, the Lord. Then He will reveal us the permanent appreciation. And what is that permanent appreciation? Is the love for Him that comes through lifetime of sincere devotion. And Acharya says we should not settle for anything less. So, with that, I'd like to continue. But, dear devotees, please feel free to let me know if you have any other points to discuss or any other example. Because at any time, I know it's a small group, it'll be wonderful to get your interactions as well. One of the other things I would like to mention is gratitude towards our parents. Our parents, we would not have been in the world without our parents. I'm not just talking about the physical body, whether it's, which of course it's a big deal for a mother, what she has to go through to give birth. For some of us who are already parents, we experience what the life was before as a bachelor or as a couple, and what is the life after as a kid. The love we get from our parents, the affection, the care. Any sane, normal parent, I'm not talking about any Mahabhagavat here. I'm just talking about maybe 99% of our material parents, even today in our material world, will try to do their best, to the best of their capacity, to the best of their ability, to the best of their intelligence, so that their children live a good, happy life. How ungrateful we become sometimes when we even forget our parents. Would like to, can anyone remember any scriptural evidence where gratitude was given to their parents? In fact, I remember a couple of Leelas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The,
Yeah. Chaitanya
yes,
Mahaprabhu, I think
yes, Prabhu,
after
please.
taking sannyas, he keeps the gratitude to his mother,
Right.
saying that I came from you, although for some reason I want to become a sannyasi, but if it is your order that I should stay close to you, then I will. As a sannyasi, I'm supposed to move, but if it's your order, I stay close to you, then I can stay in Puri.
Right.
And he makes a whole arrangement that regularly the news goes from Puri to Sachimata, and then the news goes back from Sachimata back to Puri. So Mahaprabhu knows what's going on.
Right. Right. Nice. Nice. So true, Prabhu. Yes. Yes. As mentioned by Ashwini Madhav Prabhu, actually Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all credit to his parents for his spiritual knowledge. In fact, when his father was leaving his body, he said, whatever I have learned from you, O Father, whatever I know about Krishna, I have learned from you, what will happen to me without you? And then later on, as Prabhu just explained, Mahaprabhu gave all credit to his parents, his mother, and even in another Leela, when Raghunath Bhatta wanted to leave his parents and come, Mahaprabhu advised, no. Of course, his parents were Krishna conscious, but still, it's first you serve your parents. It is your duty to serve your parents. So, we sometimes I've seen, at least in the modern world, in the modern context where we are, and I'm reminding myself, for our children, we give everything, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of our efforts. We need to be grateful to our parents for everything that they have done for us, so that they can also, we can also convey our gratitude in the right way. It is mentioned in Shastra actually that the trouble that parents undergo in the birth of children, for that, and of course, birth and raising of the children, there can be no compensation even in 100 years. And then there's a famous story of the Lord Himself that I would like to mention here, gratitude towards parents, which is a deity in India. It is actually considered a self manifested deity, Swayambhu uh, deity. Anyone knows which deity I'm talking about? Which shows a wonderful example of parents. a gratitude towards parent. This is the Pandharpur deity of Vithala. I will quickly tell this story. The background we are trying to say is how much grateful we should be to our parents. There was a very simple devotee of Lord, simple but amazing devotee of Lord. His name was Pandhari. He had a very simple, from a materialistic perspective, who devoted his entire life in service of Krishna. He had his parents who were aged, and sometimes with age, people may not understand everything. It is said that his parents not necessarily appreciated all the devotion of Pandari, and at later age, Pandari took very good care of his parents. But even while serving his parents, he was constantly meditating on the Lord, and he wanted to actually go to Dwarka. Dwarka is where Krishna and Rukmani resides. That, oh, when will I have the deity? When will I have the darshan of my dear lordships, Rukmini and Dwarkadish? But he could not leave the service of his old aged parents. And it was, if I am recollecting it correct, his parents were also demanding, and so he had to serve. But he was meditating, when can I serve? When can I get darshan of my beloved Dwarkadish and Rukmini? So one fine day from Dwarka, the Lord started walking. And Mother Rukmini asked, Dear Lord, where are you leaving? Where are you going? The Lord smiled and says, Well, I'm going to Pandharpur. Rukmani Mata asked, Pandharpur. Please explain me, Lord. He said, My devotee wants to meet me, but he is not able to come here. So let me go and meet him. The Lord actually goes from Dwarka to Pandharpur. I do not know of many instances where the Lord decides to give darshan to his devotee. Of course, there are. And finally, the Lord reaches Pandharpur at the test hut of the simple devotee called Pandhari. Financially, was very, very simple. He was serving his parents at that time, and someone knocked on the door. Talk, talk, talk. And Pandhari, since he was serving his parents, he could not attend the door himself, and he asked, Who's at the door? Can we imagine, right? The Lord is knocking at the door, and we are asking, Who's there? And the Lord mentioned, It's me, Krishna. I've come to meet you. I'm sure all of you may be knowing this Leela. What did Pandari say? Pandari said, Oh Lord, you have come. Thank you so much. But please wait. I'm serving my parents right now. I will not be able to attend you. Can you please wait? Pandri, I'm repeating, is telling the Lord, Can you please wait? And the Lord said, Well, okay, I'll wait. Now at Pandharpur, as I said, is a simple person. And normally, if a person is there in your home, you have to provide an asan, right? Something that a person can sit on, or in this case, stand on. Now, Vithala, he was serving his parent. He looked around. There was nothing in his home. He took an eat. Eat means a brick. He just rolled it around the ground. Below the door, it went out and says, Oh Lord, please accept this as an asan. Once I complete the service of my parents, I'll attend to you. The Lord was so happy. Now in Marathi, brick is called wit, and the Lord took it and he was standing. He was standing like this. I don't know if you can see me, but he was standing with folded, I mean, hands around his waist. And so when standing, he says Hala. His name become Vithala. And even today we have darshan of that Swarup. It's a very special darshan, dear devotees, if you can go there. It is, as I said, a Swayambhu, a self manifested deity. And even today, so merciful that the pujaris there allow you to do charan spars, you can actually physically touch the deity. At least that was how the case was when I went there before 20-25 years. Yeah. So, anyways, the point here is how much grateful we should be to our parents. We can talk big philosophies, dear devotees. We can convince the whole world, but it is very important that we are grateful for what we have received. In this case, an example is our parents. Similarly, dear devotees, we how much we talked about how grateful we should be to the Lord. What to talk about in our parents and of course our Guru. We sing this prayer Om Agyan Timiranjasya Gyananjan Shalakaya. We are blind. Now, when we say blind, not physically blind, I mean, of course, some of fortunately people maybe, but what the blindness we are referring to is the spiritual knowledge. It is our Guru who has shown us everything. Today, if you and me and everyone else are in this call, or whatever little of bit of insignificant service we are doing, is the causeless mercy of our Gurudev. What really can we even do for him? Well, to start with, gratitude. In fact, we will be able to serve only if we have gratitude. In fact, uh, it is said that Krishna will take our devotional service seriously when he sees we have gratitude to the great souls who have given their life for us. And that is our gurus and our acharyas. And I'm repeating this statement. This is which I received from my Guru Maharaj in one of his lecture. His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Krishna will take our devotional service seriously when he sees that we have gratitude to the great souls who have given their life to help us. Whatever, whatever little, I'm saying little because we cannot do a lot for our Guru. Whatever we do is very little. So whatever little we can do for our Guru. It is our privilege. It is our good fortune. It is something that this 300, 200 or even 400 gram, I don't know if any human has 400 gram of brain, we cannot comprehend the mercy that we have received. In fact, it is said that without gratitude, we will not have the depth to go into our bhakti. Yes, we can learn a lot of scriptures. We may be able to memorize a lot of shlokas. I know when my son was young, I had so much difficulty memorizing a shloka. His speed of memorizing was probably 10 times better than me. Now, of course, maybe 20 times better because I'm really forgetting. But my point is that it is great, but gratitude is like that soil where the bhakti creeper grows. Moving on to the mood of gratitude, dear devotees, I feel that we oftentimes forget giving a lot of gratitude towards our spouse and families. I know we, if we are where we are now, I don't even talk about spiritual level, even materially, even emotionally, even financially, or even at any level, it is we need to be grateful to our spouse and family. This is something that I liked in one of our Vaishnava journal written by senior Prabhupada disciples. One way of showing gratitude, especially to spouse, a mood of appreciation. In fact, at least we can say some nice words. Of course, dear devotees, I must confess, I'm guilty of this. And I'm reminding myself, we all need to feel to be appreciated and appreciation. Sometimes there are things which may irk us that our partner does or our family members does. And we often focus on that rather than focusing on how blessed we are to have received someone, we have a family to come home to. We have someone who's waiting for us. We need to cultivate a mood of appreciation, even scientifically. Now, if you go to this gratitude aspect is really appreciated. A person who may be 100% atheist, even they say that the mood of appreciation directly activates brain regions associated with neurotransmitter dopamine, the feel good hormone. you know we may have experienced this when we appreciate someone. It need not be a formal devotee appreciation day. Basically what we are doing is expressing our gratitude indirectly. There is a feel good feeling. It's not necessarily limited to a devotee circle. When we appreciate someone at work, genuine appreciation I'm talking about, not the appreciation so that you are in their good books, there will be a feeling of happiness that you will get. Whether you appreciate even a small work done by, let's say, someone on the road whom you probably don't even know or probably will not meet each other again in your life, some small service, that will be so helpful. And dear devotees, how much we should be grateful for the wonderful devotee association that we get. I'm just mentioning ISV, but whichever temple or whatever congregation or whatever sangha a person is in, how much gratitude we should have. Because I remember the statement that came from my counselor, His Grace Sridama Prabhu from Radha Gopinath Mandir. First of all, I would like to thank him. Today I'm here is his mercy. One statement of Sridama Prabhu I remember is, even if you are not chanting, but if you have the right association, it is only a matter of time you will chant 16 rounds. And I was so happy with that. And he added, even if you are chanting 16 rounds, but you don't have the right association, it is only a matter of time that you will stop chanting. Wow. So how much grateful should we be to our association, our friends, our ISV temple? We are grateful to His Grace Vaisheshika Maharaj, Her Grace Nirukula Mataji, Chagrini Mataji, Akrunath Prabhu. These are Prabhupada disciples who have given their blood for us. We are kind of the next generation devotee. We were not that fortunate, privileged to associate with Srila Prabhupada personally, like how fortunate they were. But today, if we are sitting here, it is the mercy of all our Prabhupada disciples. When we see them, when we meet them, they may not necessarily be our guru, even Siksha gurus. But today, this movement is on and thriving. We are grateful to them. I express my sincerest dandavats to each and every Prabhupada disciple who have given their life, their intelligence, their entire body for this movement so that insignificant person like me can get a benefit and thousands, millions and maybe billions of people in future will be benefited. Sometimes I feel when Maharaj gives us lectures, they give us 1 hour personal time to talk about some issues. They could have been reading, they could have been in Dham, whether physically or mentally. They could have been reading Prabhupada's books or hearing his lecture. They could have been conversing with each other. Instead, they give their time to us, to our kids, who are directly benefits because of that. I'm just trying to remind myself how fortunate and blessed we are. Sometimes it is easy to at least appreciate our superiors in this case. But now let's come on to some examples. I'd like to share a simple event that happened in my life around 7 or 8 years ago, or 5, 6 years ago. Once my wife Ujwala Rasa, she told me that tomorrow is Sunday, my cooking. I have a grocery list. Can you help purchase some groceries today for the Sunday cooking? I said, yeah, today I have some time. Let me go. And I said, I mean, we all go to grocery stores, so I can buy something. Not a big deal by any standard. She gave me a list. And then she told me, this list, buy from Indian grocery store. This list, buy from American grocery store. This list is good. You have to go to, what was it? Hotel Depot or something. The price is good there. I did not go there. I said, oh wow, that's a big list. So I went to one store. Then I called her, oh, this, where are they? I did not find all the things in one store, so I went to another store. Then she said, oh no, it's not this. I have to go and get this. So I went to a third store. And then I went to the fourth store because I had to go to the American grocery store. At the end of the day, I thought I spent 4 to 5 hours getting groceries. That was not all. That was just something I bought. I'm sure other devotees also helped. And there are a lot of other condiments already available in the temple. But dear devotees, that made me realize one simple formula. Today on a Saturday, I spent maybe 4, maybe 5 hours just going to groceries. Tomorrow, when the cooking takes place, we will say, Haribol, the prasad is so amazing. We'll thank the cooks, we'll thank, oh, the lecture was so amazing, the kirtan was so amazing. I realized one thing. I've been going to ISV for 23 years, and maybe before that to Radha Gopinath Mandir for many years. Did I ever thank the people who are getting groceries? I don't think so. I'll be honest here, devotee. 5 hours, 2.5 hours of chanting, 5 hours of groceries, and your Saturday is over, dear devotees. You do other work. How much this happens every day, every week? This Sunday also there will be feast, someone will be cooking, someone will be cleaning, someone will be getting groceries. Are we feeling grateful to them? My humble effort is that these are small items. Maybe we can think, maybe we can dwell deep into it, show our appreciation. These are the things our Guru Maharaj says that is so essential if we want to progress in bhakti. We can talk big things. We can really talk big things. Today in the world of internet, we have access to practically everything. And some of us may have the gift of gab, as they say. We can speak very nicely. But the entire goal is to develop qualities that will eventually help us progress in our spiritual life. Because we don't have to go far and wide. Once I saw Srivas Pandit Prabhu. There was a devotee who wanted to talk, get some counseling with Srivas Pandit Prabhu. The devotee and Srivas Pandit Prabhu went so that, and for more than 1.5 hours, they were talking. How much grateful we are. Dear devotees, try doing this in the material world. They will charge you $300 an hour for some counseling sessions. After some free hours that your company may give you for 10 free hours. We get access to Krishna's devotee who can guide us on various aspects of our life. And same is true for a lot of devotees. On Saturdays, devotees could be spending the same amount of time with their family members, with their children, scrolling, but instead they go out to help strangers. There is nothing, no, no self interest in there to distribute books. Now, all of us who have experienced, it's not that everyone will say, Prabhupada Patita Pavana, I was just waiting for you. Of course, we do meet such people also that, oh, I was just waiting for Bhagavatam. But let's be honest, in the Western world, many times people say, I'm good. There have been instances where dogs have run behind, dogs have been sent because we rang the wrong doorbell. We are grateful for such people, such book distributors. We are trying to imbibe their mood. Unless we are grateful, we will not see good in them. And we will not be able to imbibe their mood. Once, as I was preparing for Janmashtami morning, Mangal Aarti, we are all so excited, we are so enthusiastic. Ujjwala was talking with Kala Keli Mataji, and she says, are you going for the Mangal Aarti tomorrow morning? Right? What time? And she smiled and she says, no, I'll be coming back at that time. What does that mean? The decoration team, they stay whole night so that some of us can enjoy the festivities. Many of them have a schedule so that they miss a lot of festivity. Who would not like to attend the Janmashtami Mangal Aarti, the Janmashtami morning program of Vaisheshika Maharaj? And that is true for any temple in ISKCON. I'm just expressing our gratitude to such devotees. The very next day, again in the morning, after the Janmashtami feast, I try to go home so that I can come early the next day. There are people I know who clean the temple till probably 4 a.m. so that Mangal Arati can happen at 4:30 a.m. the next day after Janmashtami, between that window of 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. They are away the entire day of Janmashtami so that Prabhupada's parents' festival can go on. We can say, I know, Prabhu, I know. There are a lot of such examples. Why are we repeating it? We just want to express our gratitude of imbibing this quality. I see the same for the decoration team, the cleanup team, or for that matter, I mean, these are things which are never highlighted, but having a gratitude for them. If we have the capacity to express gratitude, then it makes gratitude real. As a devotee of Krishna, we can meditate things that we can be grateful of. We can be avoid things that we do not have or those arrangements that have not worked out. Instead, let's focus on what has been given to us. All the opportunities that arrive every day upon our doorsteps, all our relationships that have encouraged us, this human form of life, which offers us a unique opportunity for self realization. And only if we are grateful every morning with a warm mantle of gratitude will we be able to progress further. I'd like to pause here. I know I'm speaking a lot, dear devotees. Uh, Hare Krishna, Rohini Dulal Prabhu, thank you so much for joining. Good to have you here. Would you all like to add any example? Please share anything that you have heard about on similar terms. Would love to get your insights also on this topic of gratitude and Krishna consciousness.
Mayapur Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanot Ram. First of all, thank you so much for bringing up this important topic. And I agree that many times which comes arranged for us, right? We take it for granted.
Yeah,
And as you mentioned, there is a lot of hard work goes behind the scenes. So you give many examples, and I do see that when we are involved, right, we can at least we can try to recognize to a certain degree. I see that the Sunday garlands that they make, right? They spend multiple hours in making one garland.
nice, nice.
Um, I really feel grateful for all the devotees who dedicate their time for serving the Lord nicely and also serving the devotees.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much for bringing this topic, though. It's very important in the lives of the devotees.
Well, thank you, Rohini Dalal Prabhu, for your wonderful points. And thank you for what you do. Because whatever little I know, Prabhu, you are also dedicate a lot of your time in trying to bring the various souls in this world to Krishna consciousness. And that is paropkara. That is again the same thing. You have no vested interest in that other than spreading your mercy. Many times, in fact, I should say most of the time when you attend such home programs, you don't even know who they are, but your mood is just to give, just to give, just to give.
Yeah,
Grateful
I'm
for
just trying to follow the footsteps of devotees like you. It's very less compared to what people like you do. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
grateful for whatever opportunities that are there for me.
so nice. Yeah, correct. We are grateful for the opportunities we get. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Another thing, I think in few weeks back, Oladeep Prabhu took the class about in a similar topic, and he was mentioning how do you know that Krishna accepted your service, um, and he was mentioning there, after doing all the services, if you feel happy, like a lot of time, I mean, we get tired, exhausted, and we kind of, not doing the service in a good mood, right? So how do you know that Krishna accepted your service? Like, even you may have noticed in ISV, most of these devotees, they're working so hard or in their service, they have very tight schedule with little kids and all, right? But still, they're doing the service like joyfully, right? They're happy, like always, big laughter and like Ujjwala Rasa, right? You may have always seen her, like, she's always like, not smiling, I mean laughing, I would say, like, after all the services also, right? Similarly, you will see most of those devotees, they're very joyful also. So I while you were talking about this gratitude topic, right, I was also remembering this Koladeep Prabhu's class that Krishna must be accepting their services also because they're also joyful. I mean, it is done in a joyful mood.
Very nice point, Mataji. Thank you for reminding that. Yes, that's very good point. Yes, yes,
Prabhu, I would like to say that if
yes,
you
please.
know, you spoke for almost an hour on this topic, gratitude, a person can speak only so much because he practices it day in and day out and a lot of realizations, right? So that is
Uh,
so
Thank you for
you are actually embodiment of it. I will
no,
say
Prabhu.
that you
Thank you
could
for your
speak
kind
so
and
much on
encouraging.
it.
No, Prabhu. Thank you for your kind and encouraging words, Prabhu.
You-
I just took it as a platform to remind me. I'm trying to repeat words that I've heard from my Guru Maharaj, from Prabhupada, and all the experiences we have. Because I'll be honest, Prabhu, I do have a tendency to crib, to complain, and the antidote for that is to look at the positive. So I'm trying to improve myself. But devotees like you are always very gracious, and thank you for that, Prabhu. Yeah. In
Thank
fact,
you for all your realizations you shared. It is a very important talk. Actually, I was thinking that 90% of the social problems will be over. Actually, not 99% of the social problems will be over if you know people accept this just one quality, gratitude.
yeah,
99% of social problems will be over, but it is very difficult because of the maya which kind of drags us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In fact, our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, I'm sure Rohini Dulal Prabhu knows this well. He often, on more than one occasion, I have had the privilege of hearing this story from him. Very simple story, dear devotee, that when he was a child, and just like any other children, he go to our friend's home, and whenever he would come back, once he came back, and I think he had eaten a cookie or he had a cookie in his hand, one of them, and his mother asked him, "Did you say thank you for this cookie?" To your friend's mother. And like we say, what? I mean, if a friend mother gives me a cookie, you take it. Did you say thank you for that? And if he did not, Radhanath Maharaj, as a child, small child, probably in a single digit age, his mother would actually send him back just to say thank you. And Guru Maharaj would explain to us that this is how his parent cultivated the attitude of gratitude in him, which is so important, which seems simple because it is necessary to convey also, to convey the feeling of gratitude. Because, and even in fact, he also added, of course, not this was a separate topic, but this is also coming from our Guru Maharaj, that even for most of us, we are grateful when we get good things. If I get good money, if I invest somewhere and it appreciates, or if I get some success, progress, yeah, yes, I'm very happy and I'm grateful. Actually, that is also a big thing, to be grateful, because sometimes it becomes an entitlement. But of course, I should get it. I deserve it. I'm so intelligent. I'm so smart. I'm so good. No. So first level is at least you are grateful. You are thankful. Second level, we need to go deep. And then Maharaj says that there are grateful when they get good things, but we become very. There are people who get very disturbed and bewildered when difficulties come into their lives. Now, the universal principle of all spiritual path, in a very basic principle of Sri Bhagavad Gita, is we should be grateful for whatever God gives us. Now, dear devotees, I'm saying this, I'm actually saying it from my Maharaj lecture. It's not that I have realization, but I'm trying. I can humbly say that we can only imbibe it by discussing with like minded devotees, reminding each other the good things that come. We should feel, I don't deserve this, but I'm so grateful. Any little bit of kindness that a person shows us, we should be grateful. Any blessings we receive, we should be grateful. But now, what about the difficulties and the pains and the failures? If we can be grateful for those, I'm saying, now this is, I'm reading from our Guru Maharaj's uh, lecture purport transcripts. If we can be grateful for the pains and the failures, we could learn, we could grow through the experience. Otherwise, we miss a precarious chance. We miss a chance to come, we could have learned to come closer to God. We could learn to improve the quality of our own lives, to overcome the obstacles that they are keeping us back. Those lessons that the Lord is always speaking from within our heart can only be heard when there is gratitude. I'm going to repeat the last couple of lines. We could uh, actually, I'm going to repeat a little more. There are those who are grateful when they get good things, but very much disturbed and bewildered when difficulties come into their lives. But the universal principle of all spiritual path and a very basic principle of the Sri Bhagavad Gita is that we should be grateful for whatever God gives us. The good things that come, we should feel, I don't deserve this, but I'm so grateful. Any little bit of kindness that a person shows us, we should be grateful. Any blessing we receive, we should be grateful. And the difficulties, the pains, the failures, if we can be grateful for those, we could learn. We could grow through the experience. Otherwise, we miss a precious chance. We could learn to come closer to God. We could learn to improve the quality of our own lives, to overcome the obstacles that are keeping us back. But those lessons that the Lord is always speaking from within our own hearts can only be heard when there is gratitude. Otherwise, we will crib. I mean, that is something I'm adding. What a wonderful summary lesson that I read about gratitude by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Whenever we talk about gratitude, we all feel yes, 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 we should be thankful. I want to touch upon another topic in this. How do we show our gratitude? It's somehow easier said than done. And I must confess, I'm guilty about it a lot. I'll be honest here, dear devotees. It's not that I'm trying to be humble here. I can easily find fault. I can easily crib. Can I appreciate that easily? That is one way of expressing my gratitude. We just read that when the situations are not good. But if this, for anything that we have received at any level, how do we express our gratitude? Whether it's from Krishna himself, whether it's from our Guru and Acharya, whether it's from our God brothers or God sisters whom we may consider our equal, whether it's from our family members, whether it's from our children, whether it's from our colleagues and co workers, whether it's from the world, how do we express our gratitude? Dear devotees, let's be very expressive about it. We can express in words. Sometimes it's cultural. For example, in the Western culture, words mean a lot. In an Indian culture, sometimes with people whom we are very close to, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, if you keep saying it, why are you saying thank you so many times? That does not mean we should not express our gratitude. Gratitude can also be shown in action, in doing small and simple things, and of course, eventually serving. You cannot, otherwise, it becomes a lip service. Yeah, I'm very grateful. Yes, I'm very thankful. Blah, 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 blah. But I have no time for anything. I'm not limiting actually this discussion only from a temple perspective or spiritual life perspective. As I mentioned earlier in my session, gratitude is something that is universal. Do something for those people whom you are grateful to. It can be anything. If you have money, offer it to your guru, to your anyone, people, your family members as a thank you. If you have time, offer your time. You may have certain skills, like I think Shubha Mataji mentioned about garlands. Offer that as a way of thanking your guru, your your lordships. Above all, when we talk about Krishna and our guru, seva. Seva from the heart. Vaishishika Prabhu always says a bird can fly depending on their capacity. For us, we may not be acharyas. I mean, we are not acharyas. We may not be able to serve big, big things. It doesn't matter. Vaishishika Prabhu always says that your seva will save ya. I'll repeat, your seva will save ya. Why? That is a way of expressing our gratitude. Be there for someone. Even, and as I said, even it may be your neighboring friend, if he or she needs some help, are you there? Of course, at job also, if you are really thankful to someone, but you have no time for them, that makes no sense. So, food for thought is what we learned is imbibing what we discussed, sorry, imbibing the importance of gratitude. Why gratitude? I would like to summarize it, dear devotees. Our spiritual life, we often say, is based on our chanting. In order to chant from the heart, in order to chant from the heart, which is so important, our scripture says gratitude. If you don't have gratitude, we will not have a heart, we will not have the fertile soil where all these virtues are required. So we talked about how Krishna himself has given gratitude. We talked about stories of Rukmini pleading Krishna, Krishna helping Draupadi, Amrish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. We talked about letters of Srila Prabhupada or the lectures of Prabhupada where he expressed his gratitude, whether it was morning walks or Srimad Bhagavatam lectures or room conversation. We talked about gratitude towards God, Vishwanath Chakravarti expressing the gratitude that even if a devotee serves Krishna for 1,000 years, no, 1,000 universal creation, not 1,000 years, he cannot repay the debt he feels towards Krishna. We express that gratitude not only toward our acharyas and gurus, but even to our parents and family members. We talked about it. And our mood. The most we tend to ignore our spouses or our children or family members. We take them for granted. We talked about expressing our gratitude to our friends whom we consider our equal, our Sangha, without whom our spiritual life is so difficult. And then we talked about gratitude in not so good situations. That's at a higher level, and I must be honest, it's not easy to feel grateful when you get an email saying, oh, you are no longer an employee, or you get a doctor's report which can turn your life upside down. How do you feel grateful in those situations? But we can try that. We are so grateful for whatever we have received, and then this is an opportunity to embrace Krishna even further. Krishna is merciful that is giving this opportunity. Otherwise, maybe I would not have taken Krishna conscience seriously. Yes, it is good. I will follow it, but this is an opportunity to wholeheartedly, or at least be a little more serious than whatever I am. That may be the case. In fact, we touched very little on how to express our gratitude because that's very important. We touched upon saying thank you or whatever gratitude you want to say. Even in culturally, in Indian culture especially, sometimes say, oh, we don't need to say thank you. They may say that, believe me, dear devotees, people may say that, but we are all very sentient beings, as my Sheshika Maharaj says. Whatever whatever you do, people will immediately realize or recognize that. People, gratitude or appreciation will encourage others. You are not going to say that just for their encouragement. You should say it from your heart. But the byproduct of it would be an encouragement for others. And more than saying is doing something about it. And the highest level is doing seva for our acharyas, for our guru, for our gurus, god brothers or god sisters, and of course our own god brothers and god sisters. I'll take another pause before the final round. Hare Krishna Tadiya Seva Prabhu, nice to have you also. Anything, dear devotees, you'd like to, anything that you remembered about expressing gratitude, especially, or anything for that matter. Yeah,
Prabhu, nice class. Um,
thank you.
One of the points I liked is that you mentioned about the signs of happiness, or I mean, you mentioned about the dopamine,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
how the basically in biological terms it's called the happy chemical.
yeah.
That's
The feel
basically
good
that's
hormone.
released
Yeah,
happy hormone or happy yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So basically, as per science, it's released when you get a very good sleep. There is no question on that. So this you mentioned that if somebody is appreciated, this is a very good point. It's we can practice in our own lives to create a more positive environment and more you know happy
correct.
environment. Thank you so much
Sure,
for
sure.
this point.
Thank you, Prabhu. I like to. I remember an small incident that took place. The final thing that while we were in the middle school, my son was in middle school. Uh, they got an assignment. It was a very simple assignment where they were told to write five good things that happened every day. It can be anything like, oh, thank you for making pizza today. Thank you, my mom, for making pizza today. Or you can thank you, my mom, for making curd rice today. Whatever it may be. Now, a kid doesn't have to thank his parents for feeding them, of course. But this goes to, and this was an exercise they were told to do, that try to do this, of course, at a high level. Try to maintain a journal where you specify good things for everyone, like a few points. It can be your friend, it can be your company corporate person, it can be anything. So it is, my point is, it's highly recommended. The attitude of gratitude is highly recommended, even in the uh, external world, not just in the spiritual domain, not just in the influence of spiritual realm. Yeah. And does anyone remember the quote Vaisheshika Maharaj says on appreciation? Very simple quote on appreciation. Anyone? Vaisheshika Prabhu often quotes this.
Is it always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna? Is it the one?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, he always says that, and in fact, even recently, I think the last lecture, but in context of appreciation, a couple of things that which I would just, whatever you appreciate appreciates. This is something that Krishna Maharaj used to give an example. For example, if you see some good qualities in others and you genuinely appreciate, Krishna is in their heart. So this is more like a habit. Just as fault finding becomes an habit. Now you can say, oh, but that is true, right? Yes, but is that the only thing you saw? In the same way, a person may have a lot of faults, but of course we know how inspiring Vaisheshika Maharaj is. He can see that one tiny spark and he can make a fire out of it. Just, the same, whatever you appreciate appreciates. Meaning, if you appreciate some good quality in others, you will. Krishna will bless you, imbibe the same good quality. Let's say if someone has sung a very good kirtan and you say, wow, what a wonderful kirtan that devotee sung today. Maybe you did not even appreciate orally, but you just appreciated genuinely in that heart. Someone knows it, and that is Krishna himself sitting in our heart as Paramatma. And that quality will appreciate in us. We'll take more good steps towards that. If you see, oh wow, what an amazing XYZ, whatever it may be, cleaning seva, kirtan seva, you know, pujari seva, making wonderful Bengali sweet seva, giving a lecture seva, whatever it may be, that appreciates within us. So with that, from our acharyas, I would like to thank all the devotees, dear devotees, for coming today. I like to express my gratitude because trying to follow the humble footsteps, all of you who are an inspiration. I would like to first of all thank that I've been given this opportunity, reminding myself I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity. I'm very grateful to all my family members, my god brothers, my god sisters, my friends in the spiritual community, my Siksha Guru, my Diksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada, all the Acharyas for their causeless mercy on me that I am even here today. I'm trying to mean it to whatever extent I can. It's not just I'm trying to give a very good ending. I'm a very proud person, so I want to reduce that by, by humbly imbibing these qualities. Any mistakes, any shortcomings, dear devotees, I stand to be corrected, and it's my fault. If I've said anything which you have found useful, it is kripa of all my Siksha and Diksha Gurus and Srila Prabhupada mercy. Any final word, dear devotees, yeah, before we end this session? Yeah,
I really like the topic you chose today, and many wonderful examples, not just from scriptures but from your real life regarding the Prabhupada disciples, and also
yeah, yeah,
from the temple events and all those things.
yeah,
Like how people, particularly that struck me when you said that, because I remember that after Krishna Janmashtami, Seva is done and then we all leave, but we forget that 1 to 4 a.m. the devotees will stay and clean, right?
yeah,
Continuing. So
yeah,
that next day, Prabhupada festival can happen.
yes,
That opened my eyes. Right? Who are these devotees? Like they are from spiritual world. Like
yeah,
I am like I get tired. But these devotees
yeah,
are
yeah,
from
we are
spiritual
grateful
world
for
actually.
them. Yeah, yeah. In fact, that is their offering to Prabhupada, right?
Yeah.
Can I actually end with a very nice example?
Yes.
I know,
Yes, Prabhu.
very I'll keep it short.
Please go ahead.
One of Prabhupada's disciple, and let me know if you know the name. I know it. I won't name her. Once Prabhupada told a particular disciple of his, that you need to marry this man, and so you can go and start preaching in the country where he lives. We need devotees, so you can go as his wife. And this devotee, who was at that time only in her early 20s, she said, "Okay, Prabhupada, if this will facilitate the mission, I'm ready to marry him." This is what is gratitude. This devotee of Prabhupada married and moved to this other devotee in another country, just on the order of Srila Prabhupada. Talking about, anyone knows the name of this devotee? Mandakini Mataji.
Oh,
Yeah, her name is
yeah.
Mandakini Mataji. She's a Prabhupada
Vijay.
disciple. So we are blessed to have such stalwart disciple devotees amongst our midst, who through their action, this is called gratitude for Guru. But anyways, dear devotees, Thank you very much for your association today. Thank you very much for being here. Please forgive any shortcomings. Panchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhevascha patitanam pavabhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव जिंद की जय।
Jai
मायापुर बिहारी प्रभु की जय।
Ah,
शिला
Yeah.
प्रभुपाद की जय।
Yeah.
गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Yeah.
Thank you, dear devotees, taking time from your busy lives and joining this Wednesday online on the class. We'll meet again on Saturday morning and Sunday evening in the temple and online. And again next Wednesday we'll meet again online. Hari Bol. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Prabhu.